The moment you've all been waiting for. What the Toon Goons think about Gravity Falls.
It's good.
It's the best.
Okay, bye-bye. See you guys next week.
Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.
It's the best cartoon Disney Channel has put out since Kim Possible.
Basically.
No, it's amazing. And, we're talking about it now. I know a lot of people wanted us to talk about it before, but we're talking about it now because it finally came back. Yes. It's been, forever. I actually had to go back and rewatch a lot of it because I've forgotten stuff because it's been, a year and a half since I've seen the show.
One season of, I think, 20 episodes?
Yes.
And then 2 episodes of season 2. This show premiered in 2012. It took them about an entire year to get season 1 out.
Yeah.
And I was reading an interview with creator Alex Hirsch. It's Disney's programming schedule is that they only want to put episodes of this show on during seasons and slots where they'll know it will get the best ratings. They're very mercenary about it.
Yeah.
And Hirsch has been at odds with them from pretty much the jump. Originally, there was a 4-month hiatus in the middle of...
From October to February, there wasn't anything. October 5th and then February 15th was Summerween and then Boss Mabel. We had to wait forever for.
Yeah, I remember Summerween was
there was this huge hiatus. And originally, that was 4 months. Originally, it was going to be 8 months. Hirsch talked him down. Disney Channel thinks this is a British show.
Essentially.
It's crazy. I've never seen a cartoon handled like this. When I was growing up watching cartoons, you never had to wait this long for new episodes.
I don't think.
I mean, maybe we just didn't notice because we were stupid children. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it didn't.
Well, we felt a lot of things when we were kids that we turned out not to be true. The world's cruel.
So Gravity Falls is a show about 2 twin siblings, 12 years old, Dipper and Mabel, who are staying for the summer with their huckster great uncle Stan at his Grunkle Stan at his tourist trap in Gravity Falls, Oregon, called the Mystery Shack.
They're originally from Piedmont, California.
I think it's Piedmont.
Piedmont, whatever. I say Piedmont because, the Piedmonts in Italy.
The Piemontes.
Were our ancestry, our family. Anyway.
I say Piedmont remember Piedmont from Digimon? I
was about to say, did you mean Piedmont from Digimon we were just talking about?
Yeah.
Everybody remember that?
But anyway, so they're living with their grunkle, and there's all this crazy paranormal supernatural crap everywhere. And Dipper finds a journal written by some crazy dude that had documented all this stuff, and they go on all these mystical, magical adventures trying to understand the mystery of this town with its redundant name.
Yeah, it's a little bit of X-Files, a little bit of Twin Peaks, all mixed with kind of elements of camp. Yeah, they're not at a camp, but there's elements of and this, you're away for the summer in a place with a lot of woods and shit, and you got a lot more personal freedom.
And there's a girl in plaid you like, the usual stuff.
Yeah.
Also Simpsons. Alex Hirsch said he was very influenced by The Simpsons, just in general, and he sort of channels those relationships in the show. He says Gravity Falls is The Simpsons plus Twin Peaks plus making fun of my sister. Is essentially the show.
Yeah, because Alex Hirsch himself has a twin sibling, and him and her were obviously based off Dipper and Mabel, and their grandfather was based off Grunkle Stan. He tweeted a picture, a baby picture of those two with their grandfather, and he was just wearing the vest, like an old man vest with all hairy and looking he looks like Grunkle Stan, and I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, Dipper, it basically is Alex Hirsch, in a sense. It's obviously exaggerated, he apparently did used to wear that kind of vest, and he always wore a hat because
the Marty McFly look.
Yeah, he always wore a ball cap because he said he didn't shower very often, and he just tried to hide his hair. And of course, Mabel, not Mabel, his sister Ariel wore those ridiculous sweaters all the time. Cool. There's,
like we said at Comic-Con, she was wearing one of a pixelated troll doll.
Oh yeah, no, that was the original sweater.
Was the sweater that started it all.
Yes, it was the sweater that started it all.
Other supporting characters, you got Grunkle Stan's handyman employee, Seuss.
Yeah.
As we said in the San Diego episode, confirmed to be short for Jesus.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious when we met his abuelita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Based off of a college friend of Hirsch's named Jesus Chambrot, who I recently found out, like, Seuss has no canonical age in the show because to this day Hirsch has no idea how old Chambrot is.
That's hilarious.
And then there's Wendy Corduroy, who's a part-time employee at the Mystery Shack, who Dipper has a huge crush on.
Who everyone has a huge crush on, basically. Everyone who watches the show, at least.
She's kind of the coolest chick you could possibly write.
Although in one of the Gravity Falls shorts that they used to cock tease us until the thing, I noticed that like there was a short where at the end of it she literally just steals a cop car, so she's probably a felon too.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
So she just does not give a fuck.
Does what she wants.
But they've done some, I think, pretty interesting stuff with Dipper's would-be relationship with her.
Especially in the most recent episode.
In the most recent episode, and in
episodes.
Boys Crazy, I really want to talk about that episode. I think it's very important.
Oh, well, yeah, we'll get to that. But we're not done going through all the characters and setting up the world. I mean, even though most people probably know about it, but, just in case.
But yeah, that's one of the good things I love about. That's one of the things I love about Gravity Falls and most shows that I love is like basically every character you see in Gravity Falls, almost, at least the ones that like have regular speaking roles, are recurring characters that will probably get fleshed out as the show goes on. And I love minor characters that have the same depth as the main characters, and Gravity Falls is a good handful of that.
So, Dipper is played by Jason Ritter. Mabel's played by Christian Shaw, which Alex Hirsch said that if he, as soon as he started the show, he knew he wanted Christian Shaw to voice Mabel, and he even said, if I couldn't get her, it was done. I wasn't going to do the show. The show wouldn't work. It had to be her, or it wouldn't work. And Christian Shaw actually got an Annie Award for her role as Mabel in the first episode. I remember that. Which was pretty awesome. And then Grunkle Stan, his full name is Stanford, is voiced by Alex Hirsch himself. Alex also voices Seuss and a billion other characters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Kind of a Penn Ward style. Yeah.
He's got more range than Ward.
Yeah,
I do think he's a better actor than Ward.
Definitely.
He's one of the best show creators who's also an actor since Brendan Small.
Basically, yeah. That's a good comparison.
And
I think Brendan Small is the best show creator to also be an actor.
Yeah.
And Wendy is voiced by Linda Cardellini.
We made the same mistake last time.
Yeah, we did.
It's all the L's and the I's just blend together.
I know.
And for those of you who didn't watch our Scooby-Doo episode, first of all, shame on you, but also Linda Cardellini also voiced Hot Dog Water, Velma's friend, and she also played Velma in live-action Scooby-Doo movies. So she's great. I love her.
Yeah, she's perfect as Wendy.
Mm-hmm.
So those are reoccurring characters. I mean, they're all the ones that work at the Mystery Shack.
And then there's a reoccurring villain of season 1, Lil Gideon. Gideon Gleeful, voiced by Thurp Van Orman of Flapjack fame.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's like...
He's like...
a southern preacher.
Evangelical prophet type guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a healer.
Yeah.
But he's 12.
He's and also he's not a healer, he's like a TV psychic. But yeah, just for clarification, the Thurp Van Orman was the creator of The Marvelous Mrs. Adventures of Flapjack and also voiced the titular character of Flapjack. And he also was the voice of that one character in that episode of Adventure Time, the Worm's little brother.
He was little brother. And he was also the Tree Witch.
Yeah, the Tree Witch. I remember. I knew there was another voice. He was hilarious as the Tree Witch.
Oh, I saw something about Grunkle Stan, and this may have been bullshit, but originally Bob Odenkirk of Saul from Breaking Bad was offered the role but turned it down.
I didn't read that. I know that the reason why Alex ended up playing him is because during storyboarding and pitching, he would just do the voice, and it got to the point where even he associated the character with the voice. So they're like, well, why should we cast anybody when we already got the voice? Yeah. We know what he's supposed to sound like.
Yeah, that is a somewhat common occurrence in animation production, because they have to obviously read everything out loud like that. So sometimes that just sticks and well, why don't you do it?
What's very interesting about this show is the way that it's building up its internal mythology and its lore with a slow but steady drip of information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think we've talked about this with Adventure Time before, where this is primarily a kid's show. And with the kids show, your main objective is to just make something that's immediately exciting and or funny, which the show absolutely does. So a lot of the world building, it takes a secondary aspect, but it's not as secondary as, say, Adventure Time. It is much more the content of the show.
Yeah. Because
the goal of the characters is to find out the mysteries of this creepy-ass weirdo town full of weirdos.
Yeah, and then us as an audience are very curious about Stan and his motivations and involvement and what his deal is.
And the show very much wants you to be a bit on the mystery, because there's all sorts of there's backwards in the opening credits. There's the little backwards clip at the end, and then there's in the ending credits they always have little coded messages that are always jokes, but still it's always it's something to keep you invested in the mystery. And then this season they've started having little pieces of the journal images flash up at the very end. They've started doing that.
Before there was only the one page with Bill Cipher and that circle thing.
They did that, but they did that for the shorts. For the first series of shorts, they had chunks of a whole one giant page, and I actually noticed it, and I compiled them all together in a fucking image in Photoshop and tried to decode the message, and I forget what it said, but it was actually kind of fucking creepy.
The darkness, he has lied to me, the darkness is coming. There's a lot of Illuminati-inspired stuff.
Yeah, well,
what's the other name? Where Stan's hat comes from?
Shriners.
The Shriners.
Oh, Shriners. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Stan's got that tattoo.
Yeah.
That at first I didn't know whether or not it was intentionally hidden, but then they had that whole short about what's Stan's tattoo.
Yeah.
And we've seen what it is in the season 1 finale. Where I guess this is spoiler stuff. The season 1 finale, when Bill Cipher is thinking about Stan, there's a symbol that flashes on his face.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he's in the underground lab, there's a symbol that shows up on the side of the system, and it's the same thing as the tattoo.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
We don't really know what it means. But...
No, I mean, there's so many little secrets and coding and all these little things. Apparently Alex Hirsch himself was really into that kind of stuff when he was a kid. He was always obsessed with finding the aliens and the secret conspiracies. There's this one really adorable story I found where at one point he was trying to capture a leprechaun for some reason, because I guess he believed that leprechauns were real.
As you do.
And he created this little trap out of Lego bricks, and his mom helped him out and suggested to lure the leprechaun you should put some whiskey on the bottom. And so that's what he did. And then the next day when he went, he saw that his mom had put green glitter all up in the trap to show that he had caught something, but he didn't actually. And he always cites that as a really great moment his mom gave him of just a second of believing in something.
Aww.
I know, it's so cute.
Geez, whiskey though? I thought she was gonna go with Lucky Charms or something.
No, apparently he made a Lego pot of gold, but the mom was yeah, whiskey, it'll keep him occupied while he's down there so you can find him. Leprechauns are Irish.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff comes from his own life. Apparently his parents made him and his sister spend every summer in this cabin with, I don't know, some family member or whatever. They would spend a lot of time in the woods in the summer. And of course, the sweaters with Mabel. I was reading the thing that I was trying to find, but apparently, he told the story one day going to school, and she was wearing that sweater that she wore during the panel, which had this ugly troll doll with the actual hair coming out of the sweater, and it had this big jewel for the belly button. And he as a kid remembers why is she wearing this? Why would anybody wear this? I know. And
but there's a lot of the show really engages its fans who want to figure out this puzzle.
But then there's also so much to enjoy besides that.
I want to finish my point though.
Oh.
There's a lot of alternate reality game stuff going on. A lot of these cryptograms and everything. It really engages the audience, and it also makes it very clear that there is a solution to be found. One of the biggest failings of, say, Lost is that they kept making shit up, and it was clear that they had no idea what was going on themselves either.
Yeah.
Whereas with something like this, it's very clear that they know what's up, and they're giving it to us at the right speed to keep us interested, but also definitely wanting more.
I wish Disney would give it to us at the right speed.
But they do, and they also, like, answer stuff. Like, the season finale was really satisfying. Like, we did learn some things that were really interesting, and at the same time, it was just like, oh! It was, like, the biggest butthurt cliffhanger ever. And then we still don't really know what's going on with that cliffhanger, actually.
Oh, no.
Which is really smart of them to do. Like, don't give everything up front.
It's kind of, if you decode the shit on the page that he laid open with the 3 books, it's like, this will usher in a new era of human understanding, and will also get girls to like me. Usually among the supernatural shit, they always keep it goofy.
Yeah, like when Gideon is summoning Bill Cipher, when he's doing that backwards chant, he's just saying backwards message, backwards message, backwards message. He's not actually saying anything. And there was one joke that you caught in the season finale that was really funny when Dipper was doing the chant to get inside Stan's mind.
It was a bunch of Latin. It was mostly just Latin shit that everybody knows. It was like habeas corpus, magnum opus. Just like regular Latin words. One of them was inceptus nolinum overatus. As they were going into Stan's dream.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one. That quite tickles me.
That might be like one of the best jokes of that show.
They have so many jokes, though.
The show is extremely like there's all this, cool, serious stuff going on, but it's also just fucking funny.
What is it about Inception jokes that aren't just saying somethingception that I love so much? Because Rick and Morty had that whole Inception bit too, and that was hilarious.
It's because people blew up Inception up like way bigger than it actually was, and it really wasn't that interesting or that good. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
It was well executed, sure.
It's almost sort of like The Matrix, where, it was kind of something we had never seen before, but
then it actually wasn't.
So at the time we were so impressed by it, we thought it was better than it was. And I don't think it's not a bad movie, but I think that it was treated as a much bigger deal than it deserved. Possibly even by me, I don't really remember.
Yeah, I mean, I like that ending. I hated that. And everybody's like, oh, it's so beautiful. And I was like, it's so contrived. It's so whatever. This is not dumb. This show's actually pretty thoughtful.
Whenever it is contrived, it's an obvious goof, but I can't think of any examples when it is.
And, and Hirsch has said, whenever when they do something kind of cliche, like they try to avoid cliches. He doesn't like them. He actually overviews every single script, and this show is script written, not storyboarded written like Adventure Time and Steven Universe is. He'll get rid of stuff that he's just like, no, this is too cliche. This is too been there, done that. So many cartoons have done that. And he's like, if we're gonna do something cliche, like have the 2 characters switch bodies, it's not to be so they can learn a lesson about, oh, I should respect this person. It's more like for the purpose of character development for that own person. Like he said in the writing that the script always has to balance, like, we have to have a cool monster or something happening, but we also have to have like an actual motivation for the character going on that's like real and has to do with them growing as a person, and it's not just like this contrived bullshit, which you can really see when you watch the show. Like every little episode, even when really, it's kind of inconsequential, there's always some kind of something that's connected to that character and like how they feel and what they want and their aspirations.
Yeah, not just with like I was saying, with the mythos and everything. Everything about the show is pretty deliberate. Or at least it appears that way. Like, Hirsch has said in interviews, or like that AMA he did on Reddit, is like, there's a lot I would have changed about season 1. But, it's hard to tell that by looking at it. He did a good job of fooling us of hiding the stuff that he wasn't crazy about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's just such a well-crafted show, and just from everything we've said here, it's clear that he cares a lot about delivering a really good, well-conceived original product that's not the same contrived horse that's been on TV since like the fucking 90s.
The show has a definite ending planned.
Yes.
It's not going to be an ongoing show. He says maybe 3 seasons, maybe 2 seasons in a movie.
Oh my fucking god, I hope it's like 3 seasons. Why can't it be 3 seasons in a movie?
Yeah, because the idea is, it's one summer. the summer feels very long because he said as a kid, those summers felt endless. So the length of the summer in Gravity Falls is more emotional than logical.
Yeah.
Which I think is a very elegant way to put it. But yeah, there's only 3 in-universe months or so that they have to work with.
Yeah.
In order to complete the arc. Because what a fart in the face it would be if they're like, oh, we're so close to solving this mystery. Okay, it's time to go home. We'll pick it up next year.
Yep. Yeah. Meanwhile, Phineas and Ferb is technically in the same summer, and they've had several Christmas episodes.
Yeah.
They don't care. But they know they don't care.
Those Christmas episodes take place during winter vacation.
Yeah, but still, it's like, where do they take place? Like, is it the future? Is it the past? It's not multiple. It's not multiple summers because they've had several gags where it's like, Ferb, this summer's been going on for a while, and then Ferb doesn't say anything. It's not Silent Bob.
It's not like these characters are going anywhere, unlike Gravity Falls, where they are going somewhere.
Yep.
They're literally having the summer of their lives in so many ways.
Phineas and Ferb can get away with that because it's kind of the conceit that,
Oh yeah, totally. I'm not critiquing it at all. I'm just
the whole point of that show is kind of very self-awarely parodying how formulaic the show is. And the idea of formula kids TV and like Ed, Edd, and Eddy. Like I watch very little of this stuff, but eventually they were like, you know what? Let's put them back in school.
Mm-hmm.
That
was really good.
I would love to do an Ed, Edd, and Eddy episode of this show because I think a lot of people fell off of it before they went back to school.
They did. So many people don't know there was a finale.
I didn't know that either.
And it was brilliant.
The only time I saw them at school was for that Christmas episode. Not the Christmas in July, but the actual one they did, like, during Christmas time.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about Ed and Eddy.
We will, though.
We will, but, like, we're not.
Yeah, I'm saying right now, I guarantee we will talk about Ed and Eddy.
Yes, of course.
Is there anything else, like, broad we want to talk about? Do we want to get into episodes so we can start exploring some more themes?
Yeah, we could get into episodes. One thing I'd like to say is that, like, Alex is, like, really has his hands on every single script, and he says that he often rewrites a huge amount of it, particularly the dialogue of Dipper and Mabel.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. He said something in his AMA. It's like he's got some pretty strict rules about the way that they write, the way that everybody writes Dipper and Mabel. The kids like each other. No matter how much they get on each other's nerves, this never changes. Mabel's not stupid. She's a ham. Her love of goofing off is a natural force of her personality. But she's not an idiot, and she's secretly jealous of her brother's better academic aptitude. And Dipper's smart, but he's not a walking calculator. There's a lot of kid shows featuring a character who's the brains. This guy, thick glasses, nasal voice, often starts every sentence with, according to my calculations. Pretty much every kid show stereotypically traced back to the BK Kids Club. He's like, Dipper's got, his insecurities, he's got all these other problems, he's able to laugh at himself, and he's secretly jealous of Mabel's greater social aptitude. They've known each other forever. They should occasionally finish each other's sentences. They should recognize when one of them is about to do something they always do. They should reference past inside jokes. They should get instantly angry when the other... They should get instantly angry at each other and then instantly make up the way people who've known each other forever do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get more close in unfamiliar situations because they need each other, and less close in familiar situations because they don't as much. The entire summer is an unfamiliar situation, and it is helping them bond. Dipper wants to grow up too fast. Mabel doesn't.
Yeah, and that's the thing that struck me almost instantly when I first started watching this show, was the relationship between Mabel and Dipper, which is the core of the show, and how beautiful it is, and natural, and nice. It's so nice to see siblings on TV actually like each other.
Yeah, he said when he pitched the show, like, everybody thought that these two kids were going to hate each other. And it's like, no, what? No.
It's like, no, why would you think that? Like, that's not how siblings are. Like, I remember
there are some siblings.
There are some siblings like that, but, like, that's not the norm in a lot of ways. Like, yeah, you argue and you fight and you go through periods of life where you like each other more, you dislike each other more. Yeah. But, like, I found that personally that's not it at all. And I remember being a kid watching TV, it was so hard to find a show where, like, the siblings were just, like, friends, or, like, it wasn't just like, oh, my stupid little brother is getting in the way and he's putting underwear in my bed, or, like, all these dumb prank things that all these sitcoms would do, and it just never felt real to me. And it's just so nice that they have a relationship that feels like a real relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this show's family vibe is probably like how they like they obviously get on each other's nerves, but they also love each other at the end of the day always. It's probably that, and like Bob's Burgers are probably the best examples.
Yeah. And even like Grunkle Stan too, like you get like, especially when I was rewatching it, like he really does like these kids a lot. Like he doesn't always show it because he's trying to like be, I don't know, whatever he's trying to be, but like
The Grunk.
But there are times when he's just like really happy to make them happy, you know, like at the end of the Summerween episode in particular, I remember when they, you know, didn't end up with any candy because of their ordeal. It's like, did somebody say candy? And he had like these 2 giant bags that he got from these 2 punks that he scared. And he was just so happy to be the man and have these candies for his grand nephews.
Sometimes Nina and I are the same fucking person.
Yeah, I mean, that's
kind of
that's
the point.
real.
You know,
that's the point.
And Kate, I mean, I don't know if everybody listening to it knows that Nina and I are siblings.
And I'm Tooch.
Yeah, and you're
I am Tooch.
And you're Seuss. You're our Seuss.
What's up, dudes?